He's Stonebraker and he does stuff, yeah. Feel the hum of the wheels out there. Not perfect, but he dares to dream. Hit that subscribe, make that bell scream.
And what better way to start the video than at a stop sign? What's up, YouTube? Stonebraker does stuff. And today's date is
January 10th, 2026.
It is cold yet again. It's the theme of all my e-bike rides recently, and probably for the next several weeks, is cold. But if you guys can kind of see a little bit, like it's a little sunny. The skies are kind of blue. It has been a day where the skies have just been gray, and it's like maybe 40 degrees right now. It's probably a little lower, but today was the only real day where there was going to be somewhat decent skies and really an opportunity to ride, except maybe during the week. But yeah, unfortunately, is that a duck? That was a duck right there. Some dog and a duck just hanging out in a fenced-in yard. That's an interesting combination. It's like a cartoon, you know, the dog and duck show. But I'm on the Mokwheel Basalt 2.0, bundled up to the extreme this time. 3 hoodies, 2 pairs of jeans, and I got my big gloves and the cheap gloves because I cannot find my other glove right here. So we're doing it kind of ghetto with different gloves, but my hands never really get super cold during the rides. But anyways, on with the video. So I had taken the Mokwheel out a few days ago, and it was cold, but I wanted to ride it a little bit off camera, and I happened to notice that I had hit 500 miles. So this is just basically a little video to get out there just to kind of show, like, you know, I've put 500 miles on this bike. I love this bike. I can't say enough good things about the bike. We had a interesting beginning of our man e-bike relationship. When my first video, I took it out not even 3 miles into the ride, I got a flat tire. So I thought the bike was going to be cursed. And like, what, 2 months ago, I woke up and I had a flat tire on the front. So yeah, I've had to put basically 2 new sets of tires on this bike. But besides that, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. It's the torque sensor. Absolutely love the way the torque works. I can be in pedal assist 2 like I am right now, and I can keep it right at about 17 miles an hour. Strava and the bike, relatively close speed wise, mile per hour wise. But it's so smooth, and I happen to be looking around the last couple days, just trying to see if, like, there's been any indication about, you know, any new e-bikes coming out in the next few months. Are any of these brands gonna, like, put out a new model? And randomly just started watching videos on the Basalt 2.0, and it just made me appreciate how much I like riding this bike and how great of an e-bike it is. So, or I will say it till I'm too old that I can't ride an e-bike anymore. This Mokwheel Basalt is a fantastic bike, the 2.0, and I can't hate on anything Mokwheel related because I had a Mokwheel Tour Plus, which also was a really great bike actually. And I've actually thought about, as the year goes on, I kind of talked previous video about like what I want to do with the channel and maybe buying some more bikes and stuff. And I like buying new bikes. There's an excitement to like getting a bike you've never had, a company you've never had, things like that. I like that. But then, like, also, it's nice knowing that when you're getting an e-bike, you know it's gonna work. You know it's gonna work how it should. You're not gonna have any, you know, major issues with it. And I'm 2 for 2 with Mokwheel, and their customer support has been fantastic. So I've even thought about purchasing the Mokwheel Tour Plus. Yet again, that was 30 bike I ever owned. Cadence sensor, but it was super comfy, just a really great bike, and I had no issues with that. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to see what the price of that is when I start kind of looking into e-bikes and stuff when we get towards spring weather. I think it's actually gone up in price, which is kind of weird. You know, you think it's being like 3 years old at this point that maybe the price had gone down, but no, I think they've kind of gone up. So I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it, but I love this bike. I can't wait till the weather is warmer. I am all jacked up right now on candy. I'm not gonna lie. So I returned an Amazon item. I think it was a e-bike light. Yeah, I bought a light and it just didn't fit on the handlebar correctly for the Aventon. So I returned it and it was like $40. So I've had like a $40 credit, and yeah, I used it to buy some of my favorite candy growing up and as a kid that I cannot find anywhere anymore. And I come to find out the reason I can't find it is because COVID killed it. That's right. All the negative things that COVID did, you know, like people died of COVID, people lost jobs, just a lot of crap with COVID. The discontinuation of the greatest candy known to man, it has to be right up there. And of course, I'm not talking about, you know, the whatchamacallits or the Diet Clear Pepsi. I'm talking about Runts, the best candy ever. So I've been looking for Runts for like years, and I never really thought, I'm like, okay, maybe they just don't carry Runts anymore. And then I come to find out that like with COVID, Runts went bye-bye. So luckily for me, Amazon had it. So I bought a 2-pound bag of Runts candy, and I have probably consumed about 274 of the little banana ones in the past 3 hours. So yeah, if I start talking in a foreign tongue you've never heard, or I start going 600 miles per hour on the Mokwheel, or I have a seizure, one of those options, blame it on Runts candy, and feel free to file a lawsuit in my name if that actually happens. But I am all jacked up on that, and factor in I wanted to ride today, but like I said, the weather is just, I thought it was supposed to sunny up a little bit, which it has. We'll get past this person here. Hi. But I thought it was gonna, you know, brighten up early in the day. Unfortunately, it did not until about a half hour ago. So I've probably got about an hour left of daylight. It's definitely cooled off a little bit here. And just to tell you how weird the weather is in the Midwest, we had like tornado watches, and I think there was even some tornado warnings like, it was either yesterday, I think it was last night, but it got up to like 60, which you're like, wow, 60 in January, why were you not on e-bike? Well, it was like rainy weather. I mean, you guys can see the spots on the trail here. It was super windy, but like I dug it. Like I really enjoyed the weather. I wish it was a little warmer. I definitely would have got on the e-bike, but it felt very spring-like with the super windy temperatures and, 60s. Nice now, but it's a little chilly overall. So that kind of was weird to go from that to this, which I would say this is kind of normal, 40 degrees. And then tomorrow, Sunday, it's supposed to be in the low 20s. So, but we'll stop up here a little bit, and if you followed the channel, you've obviously seen this bike plenty of times because it is my favorite bike and I like to show it off. But 500 miles for me is pretty cool. I know that's not a lot of miles in the grand scheme of the e-bike life, but for me it is because I typically, ride different e-bikes, and it's rare for me to put so many miles on an e-bike. It's rare for me to have an e-bike long enough to put that many miles, but Mokwheel is the exception, and it will continue to be the exception. As far as I know, you never know what might happen, but I cannot see anything changing like that. I spent a lot of time today, as I talked about earlier, just kind of like, I got caught up in the YouTube e-bike algorithm. I got caught up in the YouTube algorithm and just watched a lot of videos on the Basalt and the Basalt 2.0. which is weird because, you know, obviously I have the bike, but yeah, I was like watching it like I had never heard of the bike, and I was all interested in it and stuff, and just felt the need to get on it and kind of suffer through the weather a little bit. I'm curious though, if you're watching this, is 40 degrees, you know, 35 to 40 degrees, is that too cold for you? I know some people will ride no matter what. They'll ride in snow. When I saw a video of a dude riding the bike in snow, which I don't think I'd want to do that, but I think, especially this year, look at me riding on these busy roads like I'm an important member of the car community on an e-bike. But yeah, let me know, like, are you able to ride year round? Do you live in an area like I do where, you know, it's 4 or 5 of the months out of the year it's super chilly? And do you just say nope? Or do you put on your Superman overalls and you just get out and you bear it? I'd say I'm like somewhere in the middle. Last year and the year before, like, I would ride no matter what. I wouldn't ride in snow, but I was riding in temperatures like 15 to 20 degrees. And I don't know what I was thinking. I have no idea. Now I don't even, 40 is super chilly to me. And I'm wearing a lot more this year than what I have in the past. So back in the day, I would just put a hoodie on and a pair of gloves and puff my chest out and ride. But nope, not anymore. And I'm glad to see the lifeguard chair that was here in the last video has disappeared. So hopefully somebody came up and got that. But 500 miles. It's crazy to think how many miles that you actually put on an e-bike. You know, you get out here and you ride 7-8 miles at a time, and you don't really look at the actual odometer. And then when you see 500, that, you know, again, it's not a lot for e-bike world, but for me it is. And extremely happy with the bike. Definitely worth it. The only thing that I could say about it that I wish was a little different, and this is like nitpicking, is I wish it had the ability to switch between the torque and the cadence sensor. That's not needed, but I just kind of feel like bikes are going towards that in 2026. So if this had something like that, then, and I know a lot of people are going to like a suspension in the back. This is a hardtail, so it's only got the front suspension. I've never had any issues with it, you know. Depending on where you're going to ride and how you ride, maybe, you know, you like to see a suspension in the back, but I mean, that's really the only two things that I could even like try to put out there and say that, you know, someone may not like or wish they could improve. Let's go down here a little bit. Let me get a quick thumbnail if we can do that. It is muddy down here at the beautiful mutated fish home, the Wabash River. And let's just see if we can get down here and see what it looks like. But yeah, we'll just show off the bike real quick here. I've talked about this bike so many times, and I'm just going to repeat myself. 26 by 4 inch tires. It's got hydraulic disc brakes. It's got a little light here. It does its job. It's not fantastic, but it works great. Front suspension works good. You can adjust it here, and you got the preload over there. And then, of course, I've put my different pedals on it. As I talked about, these are different tires and what came with it. And then you do have the tourney derailleur and the brake lights with the turn signals right here and on the other side. And then, of course, Mokwheel puts their own little spin on the rear rack. So great bike, really good looking, and I've been off of it for like 37 seconds and already missed the thing so much. So let's get back on the bike and get back on the ride. You know, I don't know what grade this little hill is, but this Mokwheel just absolutely tears it up. No issues at all. And let's see if we can kind of... Is it super muddy? If it is, I don't want to go up there. Yeah, it's muddy. Let's not go up there just yet. You know what? Let's try not to wreck here, Adam. Let's stay on the trail. Thank you very much. And we'll take the left right here. But definitely seeing all those videos today on the Mokwheel just kind of got me fired up again for the e-bikes and what's to come over the next couple months here. And I really wish it was March and April, because I want to ride more often, and I want to do those things that I talked about with the channel, you know, possibly buying some more cameras and additional things, but I don't want to do that till I know for sure that the weather's going to be consistently somewhat warm. I don't want to have to worry about spending all this money and then not being able to capitalize on that money and use that money, or those items I bought, I should say, for several months. And I'm definitely looking forward to purchasing the Velitric Nomad 2. I've narrowed it down. There's the 2 and the 2X. 2X is like $300 or $400 more expensive. A few things different, but I don't think it's enough for me to spend that extra $400. So I definitely think the Nomad is ahead of the Nomad 2X or X2, whatever it's called. But there is a new challenger. Yeah. So I talked about the Aventon Adventure 3, very comparable to the Nomad, and that was one that I was kind of like, well, you know, thinking about maybe getting that one, but nope, I think the Nomad overtook that. But I did see a few videos on, if I don't get it right, I'll correct myself, because again, I'm all jacked up on candy right now. It was the Hemingway D5 2.0. How about we put a picture of that bad boy right here? Thank you very much. And this is also comparable to the Nomad 2. And I think it's also comparable to the Adventure 3. Similar bikes, same size tires, a lot of the same specs. But I did see the, let's see if I can say it right, Hemingway D5 2.0. It does have the rear suspension, and I think it also is the torque and cadence. And I think it's right around the same price as the Nomad 2. So that gives me something else to research. I think it is going to have a hard time passing the Nomad, because I've had a schoolboy crush on the Nomad 2X for the longest time. I've been admiring it in the shadows, watching videos and confessing my love internally. So it'll take an act of God to make me go away from the Nomad. But I was really impressed from the few videos and a couple things I saw about the Hemingway. So if you guys have any experience with any of those bikes, let me know in the comments down below. And if I have not succumbed to a candy death, I'll be sure to respond as soon as I get to it and see it. But yeah, I really like that. This probably sounds stupid, but I really enjoy comparing e-bikes and contrasting e-bikes and watching videos on e-bikes. And usually I make the wrong decision, but I really enjoy the build-up, and then it makes me feel accomplished if I get an e-bike and I'm like, okay, this was a great choice, and I'm happy I got it. So we'll see, but you know, that is still like what, February? Yeah, so like 2, maybe 3 months away. So I got plenty of time to do my research, and we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, so guys, just stick with the channel. If you're in the market for an e-bike and you want to spend like $1,800, and maybe you don't need a back suspension, or maybe you don't need a torque and cadence, this is a fantastic bike. All right, guys, so I am heading home now. I'm gonna go ahead and do some light editing on this video. I'm gonna try to get this uploaded tonight, the 10th. I know this isn't the most exciting video, or there is no real purpose, but it was a Saturday, and like I've been working overtime every day. Had to work last Saturday, so I just had to get out and get something out there because I was starting to get antsy working all this overtime. So pray that I win the Powerball one day and I never have to work again. And I will just live on an e-bike. I will literally put a roof over an e-bike and I will live on it and I will make 5,000 videos. So that way I can compete with the mystery YouTuber that I told you I'm in competition with. He knows nothing about. And by the way, I believe he has passed me in subscribers now. I passed him, and then again, he uploads like every day. So I think he's above me again. So if you see this and you like this content, or you feel sorry for me or worried that I died of candy overdose, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.